Hello, my name's Chris. Thank you for watching today's video and welcome to my channel. I just briefly wanted to go over something with you that I thought would be really cool and perhaps many of you would really enjoy. I've been inspired. A lot of times I get comments from people from all over the world, and I just thought like how cool it would be if we could see pictures of people's ponds from all over the world, right? We can learn about what a pond looks like in different countries and the whole bit. I thought it would be just a great idea. So I just recently set up a new page on my website. My website's pondscapesandmore.com, where it's titled Ponds Around the World. And I was hoping that some of you can participate and send me a picture with just a brief description of your pond, and I can post it on that page for everybody to enjoy. And I just thought it would be something really cool. I know locally here by me, we do have like a pond club, a koi club, and they do garden pond tours and people go to see everybody's pond. But how cool would it be to see pictures of people's ponds from different parts of the world, right? So whether you're from the US or Germany or England or Taiwan, wherever, we would love to share your pond and see pictures of what your pond looks like. So if you're interested in participate, please send me those pictures at jspondscapes@gmail.com. And I will post everything up on my website. And hopefully that could be a really cool experience for all of us. So thank you very much, and we'll get on with today's video. Hello everyone, thanks for checking out today's video. Welcome to my channel, Jersey Shore Pondscapes Videos. My name's Chris. I've been building koi ponds and water gardens and waterfalls and all that fun stuff for almost 30 years now, and I've got a ton of information to share with you and hopefully teach you a little bit about what I've learned over those years. I've put together this channel. I have almost 200 videos out right now on all kinds of topics, everything from designing to construction to pond filtration, fish, plants, troubleshooting, maintenance, all kinds, tons of videos, seasonal care, all kinds of stuff here. Hopefully to help you out and give you some good information, and hopefully it can make your pond experience a little more successful, a little more enjoyable. So again, thanks for watching today. Today we're doing a simple video, and it's just about how to figure out how many gallons are in your pond. All right. And it's a question that I get a lot, and it's something that I often notice homeowners are way off on, okay? I guess I build ponds, for so long now that I got a pretty good idea of how many gallons are in a pond just by looking at it. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm dead on, but I'm usually pretty close. So it's really important to know how many gallons we have in the pond. And the reason being especially is because if we ever need to treat that pond for algae, parasites, bacteria, fungi, anything like that, right? All the medications, all the treatments deal with gallons, all right? How big is your pond? How many gallons do you have? And the medications and treatments that you use are based on, that dilution, all right? So it's really important to have a good idea of where you are. So I wanted to talk about it today. It's not going to be crazy. It's going to be a pretty simple video, but it's something that's really important, so I want to cover it, all right? So for me, whenever I build a new pond, like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years. I have a cheat, okay? I own a water meter, all right, that I have adapted to a little fitting here on the end, and I can connect this to a garden hose. So whenever I build a new pond and it's time to fill it, I bring over my little water meter, And my little meter here has a dial that spins around for each gallon, okay, 1 through 10, like a clock. It goes around 1 gallon, 2 gallons, 3 gallons, 4 gallons, 5 gallons, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, right? 1 gallon, 2 gallons, 3 gallons. And then it has a digital, almost like a not a tachometer, an odometer on an older car, right? The little numbers that spin around as it goes. So, you know, what this does is this doesn't reset each time. This has a number and it just keeps adding and adding and adding. So whenever I'm refilling a new pond, filling up a new pond, I need to write down the number that's on here, 94,110 gallons, okay? So I write that number down, I fill up my pond. Obviously that number goes up, and then I just subtract one from the other and I get the difference. And the difference is the exact amount of gallons, right down to the, you know, half gallon that I put into a pond. So I can fill up a pond and tell the homeowner, hey, you have 1,789 gallons in your pond, all right? So that's a way to cheat. But for most of us, you know, we don't have a water meter. These things are not cheap. This is not something you're just going to go to the store and buy for, you know, 10 bucks. This is probably, this is a brass fixture. I don't even remember what I paid for it, probably 20 years ago, okay? But it still works awesome. So really good for me to have. Now, basically, the way you can calculate the amount of gallons in your pond is to take the length times the width times the depth times 7.5. Okay, so length times width times depth times 7.5, and that number will come out to the total amount of gallons in your pond. However, that being said, that works for a perfectly square box. Okay, just say 10 feet long, right? 10 feet wide, 3 feet deep, right? And flat square sides, all right? A perfect cube, a perfect box, all right? Length times width times depth times 7.5. If we have a perfectly square pond like that, we can figure out our gallons pretty close, okay, using that formula. And then we have to think about the amount of water that may be in our pipes and our plumbing, in our filter system, and add to it, all right? But we're going to be really close. Now, the trick is, not every pond is perfectly square and flat, square sides, you know. We're all free-formed, round, natural shaped. Our sides are not straight down to the bottom. They may be a little tapered. We may have shelves in the pond for plants at different levels. All kinds of crazy stuff, right? So, in my experience, if you have a free-form pond, but not too crazy, like not like a little like thing like this that blows out over here, and you know, just like just a general free-form open shaped pond. Take your length times width times depth, you know, with a couple shelves around it, and you're going to subtract around 30% or a third, right? 33%, about a third of you know, length times width times depth times 7.5, let's say, comes out to 1,000 gallons. Okay, just whatever. So from that 1,000 gallons, you're probably going to subtract roughly a third from it. All right, so you know, somewhere 700 gallon range, 650, 700, you're probably around that ballpark. Okay. Now, sometimes some ponds with more extreme, crazy, or a circular pond, you know, more shelves, crazy different depths, all this stuff, you might be taking even more. You might be taking, you know, 40%, maybe more, maybe 45, 50% off of that equation, all right? It's really hard to calculate. Like I said, I kind of do it by sight, and I'm usually close, okay? Just from experience, from filling up pond after pond after pond and knowing how many gallons in it, I can kind of, guesstimate pretty well. But, a really crazy shaped pond with a lot of shelves and stuff, you're probably taking off 40 to 50% off that number. So instead of 1,000 gallons that calculates in that equation, you might be 500, 550, all right? Every pond is different, so I can't say exactly. You kind of really have to figure that out for yourself and kind of guesstimate the way your pond is designed, how many shelves, how deep are the shelves, right? Picture, length times width times depth times 7.5, and that's a pond that side is perfectly vertical and then perfectly flat on the bottom. If your pond has a shelf here and it comes over and it comes down, it comes here, look at all this space, right? That's not water. So it adds up fast. But I can say typically, roughly, an open-formed, free-form pond, length times width times depth times 7.5, and then subtract about a third off of that. And it should give you a pretty close estimate to what your pond is. And if it's a crazy, free-formed, exaggerated curves, lots of shelves and stuff, you might be 40 to 50% off, okay, off of that top number. So that should give you a good idea. Now, I want to give you an example of somebody who was way off on their pond calculations in gallons, and when it really, really hurt them, okay? So I had a call one day from a local pond store who had a client come in the day before and wanted an algicide. Now, I am not a fan of these algicides. But anyway, okay, wanted an algicide for the pond. Said the water was green and needed an algicide. The guy that worked at the pond shop asked him, how big is your pond? And he said, it's around 10,000 gallons. So they sold him a big container, whatever he needed, to treat that 10,000 gallons, and instructed him accordingly as to how to treat that pond with that chemical for 10,000 gallons, okay? Well, I got a call from this pond store simply because the guy called him back the next day and just about all his fish were dead. So they gave him my number for me to go over and help him out, okay? So I went to the guy's house that day, right? He's got dead fish all over the place. The pond is all milky cloudy, green, milky cloudy. And he's got maybe, 6, 8, 10 fish left between, 6, 8 inches and, maybe, 15, 18 inches at the top, gasping for air, like hanging on for their lives. And the guy says, I don't understand what happened. They sold me this stuff. I put it in my pond. The next day they're all dead. So he was kind of blaming the store. So I explained to him, I said, what did you do? Tell me what you did, whatever. And he told me. He told them it was 10,000 gallons. They told him what to put in it. And as soon as he said that, I looked at him. I said, your pond's not 10,000 gallons. It's nowhere near that big. His pond was barely 5,000, all right? His pond was probably in a 4,000 gallon, 4,500 gallons. That's my guesstimate, and I know I'm pretty close to that. So he treated that pond with a toxic algicide, right? More than double what he needed. And that algicide killed all the fish, okay? So, while he's like trying to blame the store, I'm trying to tell him it's not their fault, right? you told them 10,000 gallons and they told you what you needed to treat the pond. The problem was your fault. The pond wasn't 10,000 gallons. It's not what they sold you, it's what you told them. All right, so he lost a lot of fish, big fish, all right. It was not a happy day, but it was his own fault, okay. So you gotta know how many gallons are in your pond, because that's just one example of, you know, things going bad fast, all right. But anytime, like, you know, for medications, for, you know, parasites and bacterial infections and all that kind of stuff, it's really important to know the gallons so that you can properly treat those parasites. Sometimes, like parasites, common parasites like ick and all that stuff, are protozoan parasites that are easy to kill with salt, okay, most often. And I have a whole nother video on using salt and all that stuff. But anyway, very easy to kill with salt if we treat appropriately, accordingly. Okay? If we are treating parasites for salt and we dose it at the right amount, it'll clear them right up and your fish will be fine and all is good. If we don't put enough salt in, or if we put too much salt in, we're going to have really adverse effects. Either, you know, it's going to hurt the fish and hurt all your plants having a too high of a salt level, or it's not going to be enough salt to affect the parasites, and the parasites are going to continue to spread and kill your fish. All right? So really simple to treat them, but we need to know the gallons that we're putting in, okay, so that our concentration of chemicals and whatever are going to be effective. All right. It's also really important to know how many gallons you have in order to filter your pond properly. Okay. So when you're building a pond, you know, and you're setting up a whole filter system and pumps and everything, we need to know roughly close to how many gallons you have in that pond accurately in order to set up and design a proper filter system to keep that pond clean and healthy and happy, okay, and functioning properly. You know, if we have a pond that's 3,000 gallons and, you know, you think it's 1,000 and you go out and you buy a little pump and a little filter for it, it's not going to do the job, right? So try to be as accurate as you can when it comes to, you know, how many gallons you have in the pond. A little cheat, okay? Instead of buying a water meter like this, all right, spending, you know, I don't know what this was, probably over $100, probably well over $100. Here's a little cheat for you. This is invaluable information I've learned over the years, okay? If you take a gallon jug, all right, an old milk container, an old water jug or something, okay, a gallon jug, you take your water hose, turn on your water hose, full blast, right? Put that water hose in that gallon jug and time how long it takes to fill that gallon jug with water. All right? Once you have that time, now you have a baseline. Now you can put that hose in the pond and let it run. And if you know, I'm throwing numbers out. It filled that container up in 20 seconds. And you filled your pond up in 4 hours, okay? You can do the math. Take all the seconds in the 4 hours, divide it by 20, all right, and here's your gallons, all right? It's gonna, like, you can do the math and figure it out. If it took 20 seconds to fill a gallon and it took 4 hours to fill your pond, where are we at, okay? Little cheat. Something simple, something easy, but it works, and you're gonna be pretty close, all right? So just something to think about there, all right? So I hope that kind of helps you out, kind of gives you a guideline, and understand that it's really important to know how many gallons are in your pond, especially if you're going to have, you know, nice, big, expensive koi. You know, and you're going to have to take care of them. At some point, eventually, unfortunately, things happen. You might have problems with the pH, you know, with parasites, with algae, whatever, okay? And you're going to want to treat the pond at some point for something. And having that total number of gallons in your pond is going to be really, really beneficial for you. All right, so thank you for watching. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're into all the koi ponds, water gardens, waterfalls, all that kind of stuff, pond filtration, water plants, fish, everything here, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. Like I said, I've got over 200 videos, or close to 200 videos at this point here right now. And, you know, take a look around, and hopefully you can find some things that can help you out and answer some questions and help make your pond more successful and enjoyable. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you back soon in another video. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.